Imagine this. You're in a dangerous situation. Maybe you're being followed. Maybe you're trapped with someone who could harm you. Or maybe you're in an environment where speaking out loud could put you at even greater risk. The fear sets in, your heart pounds, and every second feels like an eternity. You need help. But how do you call for it without making yourself a target? Emergencies can happen to anyone, anywhere. But in some cases, calling for help the traditional way, like shouting or dialing 911 and speaking out loud, just isn't an option. That's why knowing how to discreetly signal for help can make all the difference between getting out safely and staying trapped in danger. This is about more than just dialing a number. It's about strategy, preparation, and using every resource available to you in the smartest way possible. Whether you're in an abusive situation, facing a medical emergency where you can't speak, or trying to get help in public without alarming an attacker, there are ways to reach out without drawing attention. Let's go through some of the most effective ways to call for help quietly and discreetly. 1. Silent emergency calls and text messages. Most people think of calling emergency services as something that requires speaking, but in many cases, you can contact help without ever saying a word. Silent 911 calls. In the US and several other countries, you can dial 911 and remain silent. If you don't say anything, dispatchers may ask yes or no questions. You can respond by pressing a button, pressing 1 for yes, pressing 2 for no. Many 911 centers also support text to 911, allowing you to send a text message instead of speaking. If you're in danger, a simple message like, "Help, in danger, can't talk," at location, could be life-saving. If you're unsure whether your area supports text to 911, check ahead of time and save emergency numbers that allow texting. Third-party emergency apps. There are apps designed for silent distress signals. Some allow you to send an emergency alert with just a few taps. These apps often include features like sending your location to trusted contacts, automatically dialing emergency services, triggering an emergency response without making a sound. Apps like Noonlight, Silent Beacon, or Safe can turn your phone into a silent alarm system. The best part? They often work even if you're locked in a room, unable to speak, or pretending to use your phone for something else. 2. Code words and signals. If you're in danger but need to communicate with someone without alerting the threat, using code words can be a powerful tool. Pre-arranged phrases. Have a code word or phrase with family, friends, or coworkers that signals distress. For example, "Can you bring me the blue folder?" when you don't actually need a folder. "I left my charger in your car," as a hidden signal for help. This works especially well in domestic abuse situations, kidnappings, or situations where you're being held against your will. 3. Using technology to call for help. Smart assistants Siri, Google Assistant, Alexa. Many devices allow hands-free emergency calls. If you have an iPhone, you can activate Siri and say, "Call 911 emergency help." For Android users, Google Assistant can perform similar tasks. Some smartwatches have emergency SOS functions that allow you to discreetly alert authorities by pressing a side button multiple times. Live location sharing. If you sense danger but aren't in immediate crisis, turn on live location sharing with someone you trust. Services like Google Maps, WhatsApp, and iPhone's Find My feature allow you to send real-time location updates to selected contacts. Even if you can't type out a message, they'll see where you are. If you suddenly stop responding, they'll know something's wrong. 4. Physical signals for help. If you can't use technology, a simple hand signal could be your lifeline. The signal for help, hand gesture, became widely known during the pandemic as a distress signal for victims of domestic violence. It involves holding up one hand with the palm facing outward, tucking the thumb into the palm, folding the fingers down over the thumb. If you're on a video call or in public but can't say anything, this gesture can be a way to silently tell someone you're in trouble. 5. Escape strategies and distracted calls for help. Sometimes, calling for help isn't enough. You need an exit strategy. Fake phone calls. Pretending to be on the phone with someone can sometimes deter a threat. You can say things like, "Yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes. You're outside, right? I just sent you my location. You see me?" Even if no one is actually on the other end, a potential attacker might think someone is watching, creating a scene. If you're in a public place, causing a distraction can give you a chance to escape or get help. Knocking over objects, coughing loudly, or asking a stranger a completely unrelated question can interrupt a dangerous situation and alert those nearby. Final thoughts. Your safety matters. Emergencies don't always happen the way we expect. Sometimes, calling for help isn't as easy as dialing a number and asking for assistance. But knowing how to get help discreetly can be the difference between safety and danger. Preparation is key. Understanding silent emergency options, using technology wisely, and having a plan in place can make all the difference. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you can't call for help the traditional way, remember, stay calm and think through your options. Use technology to your advantage. Silent texts, emergency apps, and smart assistants can be life-saving. Rely on prearranged signals, codes, and gestures when needed. Trust your instincts and seize the right moment to act. Your safety is the most important thing. Know the signs, prepare in advance, and share this knowledge with those around you. You never know when it might save a life, including your own.